What would it take to get you to watch NXT weekly moving forward?
Obafemi as heavyweight champion.
Okay.
It's like, okay, right at the top, because I know that you're a fan and I'm a fan too.
Yes. That is a future star right there.
That guy's going to be something.
Uh-huh.
That guy's going to be something in this company. And I don't think they're going to drop the ball because he's already got some flamboyance to him, a little attitude, which I like. And so it's him and Trick Williams. I think that there's money in that match between those two for the NXT championship. And the rest of it, it's fine. Yeah. You know how we look at NXT, Brian, it's from my standpoint, it's about wrestling bandwidth. We don't have time for everything, but you and I in particular try to find a way to watch a match here, watch a match there. Oh, okay. So we're up to date. With NXT, it's the same thing. Like I can't invest Tuesdays for 2 hours because I know it's developmental, but I know that I got some veterans I can watch along with young guys. And you know what it is? It's about Twitter. It's just like, okay, I heard this is a match. I'm going to go watch it. And so it might be 2 matches out of every Tuesday, but watching these horrible promos, that those 2003, 2004 era WWE promos, don't have time.
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat where like when I see enough tweets, I'm like, all right, I'll go back and watch this match. And when it comes to NXT, their women's division is really strong right now. There are some young stars. There are a bunch of people that aren't ready for TV yet, which I think is fine. Like that makes plenty of sense. But when it comes to that product, I will watch their PLEs because they're putting the best out there. The weekly thing, like in terms of bandwidth, like it would have to replace something else. And I don't think there's anything right now they're going to top. Like Collision, I'm on and off with, but I'll watch those for the most part. The rest of it is like, I don't know if it's replacing a SmackDown or a Dynamite or things like that. So it doesn't make sense for me.
Brian, you know what's interesting about NXT? What's interesting about NXT is, as our guy checks in there, he says NXT debuts in the CW in an A-town. Smart booking. Yes, Chicago.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
That did help, yeah.
Thank you very much, Derek. That's exactly right. But you know what's interesting about NXT, and I think that one of the reasons why that you and I can speak for Gabe as well, is the reason why that we don't break it down every week is because there's a disconnect between what Shawn Michaels is doing and what Triple H is doing. Sure. It's within the same company. If you watch an NXT show, do you notice how many bad backstage promos there are? Like it's almost like theater. Like I'm the Italian character. Right. Like that's great for ECW and like in '98. That's fine. But they're doing stuff this character development, and I understand you have to do that because you're training. But when they get to the big level, is there going to be an Italian mob character or group on Raw or SmackDown?
Like it feels like a Vince WWE essentially.
Yes,
like that's where they're at.
The hot women and like the backstage and like all that stuff. Like that's an era gone by. Right. And again, nothing against the wrestlers themselves as far as them developing as performers in the ring, but just the backstage vignettes feel really like post WCW. WWE trying to find out who they are, so just put hot women on TV and just like bad promos and bad stories. The wrestling, again, it's developmental, so I don't expect a lot, but just it feels like it's 2 different companies and 2 different philosophies there.
Yeah, I agree. And that tells me the thing that prevents me from watching weekly is like anytime I try, like I tuned in live this week with the CW debut. I wanted to see Julia off the top with Roxanne Perez. But there's so much of that clutter where I was like, I don't need to be spending time watching this.